Hello, everybody. First of all, I really want to apologize for being so bad at updating and that it has been like 3 months since I posted a video. Um, I know that there's a lot of stuff going on, but I really shouldn't have done that, and I I wish I'd tried harder to stay updated for you guys because I don't want you guys to worry, and especially because you care about me so much, and you're you're you've been really wonderful. Or um, you didn't have to do this, but you you still did, and keep showing me support, and I don't want to seem ungrateful for that. So I really do apologize for being so late and not being more um, I guess just for being so quiet lately. Um, the I did actually on Twitter. I think I said something. I did. I thought I had recorded something recently, and then I couldn't find. It just. This might sound really stupid and ditzy, but I think that I might have not hit the record button. But right now I'm looking and it looks like it's recording, so hopefully this one I will be able to upload. Um, but yeah, so I did try, um, uh, but just think it's been really rough lately, and I've been having a lot of trouble with things, and it just kind of seemed like, well, of course this would happen. So that just there's that. Um, and yeah, I'm having like right now I'm having a rough time, and I'm pretty tired. So not sure. I'm gonna see how far I can go with the journal in making this, but I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get in. I'll try to get the important stuff. But just at the beginning, if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, I'll just say that there's nothing to be worried about with me right now, and you being quiet is more about, um, well, first of all, my eyes are still an issue, and I'll get into that more, and also it oh yes, for what's going on with the rest of me, it's just basically my body's a very unpleasant place to be right now, and I'm having trouble with that, but there's nothing really dangerous or worrisome going on, so please don't worry about me um, with all of that. And then if there's another really long break from me, please don't worry about it. It's probably just that I'm having some extra trouble with things, and if something did happen, I would definitely try to keep you guys updated on that. So if you don't see me, please don't worry. I'm just probably just having a rougher time. Okay, so just got another drink of water, and hopefully I can talk a little longer with that. Um, so I actually I'm trying to think about all the stuff. So yeah, I did have chemo in December, and it actually there was a different kind of medication that they put in my, we call it my cocktail. Um, I have to, when you have chemo, there's like other medicine you have to take with it, and they try different things to make your body um, more accepting of it, I guess, or just trying to make it easier to deal with. And so actually, they tried one of the different medications, and it actually wasn't as bad, I guess. Well, it made me sleepier and like still wasn't able to do much, but it was more bearable, I think. And that was something encouraging. And um, I had a pretty good Christmas, and I was feeling like, well, maybe um, things will be doing better soon, and I'll be able to come back and do more. So I had a couple days towards the end of 2019 where I was able to send a few messages, and I got back, or I responded to a couple of people about things. Can't remember all of what that was, but I was feeling encouraged and feeling like I would be able to come back again soon. But then, uh, no, that can't, uh, life doesn't work like that for me, I guess. Um, and, well, okay, so, well, I, for me, my immune system was at its weakest point then. So, and I usually get a sinus infection right after the chemo. So, at this point, I guess I should just accept that and expect that. So, I, yeah, I had a pretty bad sinus infection. And then I had, there are just, strep and, well, let's see. I don't know. The, that little window I had around Christmas didn't last very long, I'll just say. And then there were some other things that were happening too, that weren't, um, it wasn't directly me that was having trouble, but people that I was really close to. It was kind of crazy, just a bunch of um, bad things going on. There was somebody had an appendicitis scare that they're thinking was food poisoning now, thank goodness. Um, there's no surgery required and they're doing better. Somebody else slipped and fell in the parking lot and hit their head, and that that turned out there was oh, that person is totally healed now. But it was a very stressful and upsetting time. There are or were two high risk pregnancies. Oh, when I say were, I mean one of the babies was born, and the other one we're waiting on. But just two high risk pregnancies, and um, just how that all played out. Just with people I love, and having to see them, knowing they're going through some tough stuff too. And then um, my nephew actually had to go to the hospital for the better part of a week because of pneumonia. And he had strep and pneumonia, and think I think there's something else, but those were the two big ones. And if you guys know, um, I I think I talk about my nephew all the time, and he's like the light of my world. And something else too is I get worried because some of the stuff that I deal with is genetic, and I really don't want him to have to deal with a lot of this stuff too. So just knowing that it was his lungs, that that was especially upsetting to me. But he's doing much better, and well, actually, totally better. It's like I can't believe that he was in hospital for um, like if you'd look at him, today you'd never think that because he's got so much energy and he's just totally back to normal, and it's really good to see all of that. But it was a very scary. Well, I mean, there never was like a huge like, oh, he's in danger or something. Um, it was um just upsetting that he had to go through that, um and then of course just me worrying and how I can worry too much about some things. And then I wasn't able to visit him in the hospital because with my immune system, and then I had to be, when he got back, I couldn't visit with him. I had to be quarantined from him, and um, yeah, so that was pretty difficult. But that's fine now. But something too is like when I have a lot of stress in my life, it can make my conditions um, some of, or I don't know, they all kind of blur together after a while, but it just, stress gets to me a lot more, and makes things more pronounced, I guess. And so I was having trouble. Um, I get all stressed out, being worried and upset about what was happening to my loved ones, and um, that had an impact on my physical health too. So that was another thing that was going on. Um, I keep having to pause this and get a drink because my mouth is dry, and then start it again. So maybe that is where I should go with the rest of my update now. Um, so one of my conditions is Sjogren's syndrome, or Sjogren's disease. Actually, I don't know. Okay, I just looked it up, and it is Sjogren's syndrome, and it's an autoimmune disease. I don't really get why it's not Sjogren's disease. I don't get the difference between syndrome and disease, but it's, well, a lot of this, a lot of stuff is like that. But anyway, Sjogren's syndrome, and basically, um, what that is that my immune system attacks the parts of my body that create moisture. So it attacks my saliva glands and my eyes, the parts that create tears, and like your skin, and just and also parts of your lungs too, actually. Um, but yeah, it's so that part has been pretty active and annoying lately. Um, I think I said something in my last video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, that I have 15 cavities that I'm going to have filled, and that's from the Sjogren's. Like, I went from my mouth, or my teeth being fine, to um, 15 cavities, just poof, like that. And then a big thing is my eyes. Um, Things were not getting much better with my eyes, and that was a huge problem why I'm not able to be online as much, because my eyes are really hurting, and also I'm having trouble actually seeing. Sometimes it's worse than others, but my vision is not what it is, and um, or it's not what it was, and I can't do things like watch moving text in a chat, um, and so that's why you haven't seen me in the helping out and hanging out with you guys in the chat room. Um, so if I'm pretty sure I said something about this, but they gave me. Oh yeah, I know. I told you that they gave me too much steroids last summer with the chemo, and that I thought that was what was making my eyes bad and painful. And I do think that for a while, um, it that it was a thing. One of the side effects of steroids is blurred vision, and so um, there was that, and then it just well, even with the chemo though, it is painful on my eyes, but um, I think it just kind of was more painful on my eyes when I had the steroids with it. And after a while, I was like, okay, I better have an eye doctor check this out. And he looked, and there's no glaucoma, bleeding, inflammation, or anything like that. And so he just said that I need to be putting in drops like every half hour. And so I was like, okay, well, um, I'll be doing that. And so that's been what I've been doing, and things haven't really been getting much better. And I just keep thinking that the further away I get from the chemo and the steroids, the more my eyes should be getting better. But that wasn't really happening. I mean, it was a lot better than it was right after chemo, but it's still been pretty bad. Um, and like I haven't embroidered, I have not read a book. Like I can only spend like maybe a half hour reading stuff a day, maybe. And it's painful, and I can't see very well. And those are my big issues. So finally, it was after this guy just kept telling me you just need to put in more drops. I went to see I got a second opinion from my parents' ophthalmologist that they have. Like honestly, I'm wondering why I didn't see her first, because she's like a miracle worker person with them. My dad had something pretty serious going on, and she figured it out, and she figured out the solution, and he's yeah, she was amazing with that. And then my mom went to her, and she loves her too, and how she's able to figure out what's going on, and um, good bedside manner, and just and very knowledgeable. Um, so anyway, I finally saw her, and okay, so basically what she said, and I trust her more than I trust that other guy. And when I've told other doctors what she said, they've been like, oh yeah, that makes much more sense too. So she thinks that there are two things going on right now, and that the vision trouble is separate from the pain. And so I was thinking, if I figure out why there is pain and I take care of that, then my vision will heal as well. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case. So something happened, something went through and did some damage to my vision. This could have been Sjogren's, and this could have been steroids, or it could have been both of them. And I did not realize that Sjogren's can be so bad that it does damage to your vision, that the dryness to your eyes can harm your vision. It's not incredibly common, but I do have a more severe case of it than most people to begin with, so maybe I should have expected something like that. I don't know, but that's something that's been going on, is that I've been beating myself up over things, and that I keep thinking, oh, if I had tried harder to crack down on the dryness, then maybe I wouldn't have this problem, and maybe my vision wouldn't have been harmed. And I know that's not fair on myself, and I know that I can't beat myself up over that, and I keep trying to tell myself that, but when it's something that I have to work on, I guess. Um, and but it's not like it's not a huge issue really, too. I will need to get glasses, and it so that's it. I'm not like going blind, or like I'm not going completely blind or anything like that. It's just that something went through and did some damage, and now I went from 20/20 vision to I don't know actually. That might be a good thing. I might be a little. It's kind of scary. But yeah, so I'm just I get glasses now. Um, and well, actually, I do need to be working on the dryness though, and the pain, she said, is from the Sjogren's right now, and she could tell that my eyes were really dry and that I was having a real problem with that. And oh, even when I was at the dentist, they're like, um, just like, they're poking around, and like a minute into it, they're like, yeah, you have Sjogren's, because like they could see how dry my mouth was getting. Um, but okay, so back to the eye doctor. She could tell that I was definitely struggling with Sjogren's and the dry eye part. Um, and so the thing is that I have tried all kinds of different drops and prescription drops, and my eyes are really sensitive. I had pink eye when I was like 5 or 6, and I don't. And yes, I do remember that. I have a really good memory of my childhood, and my eyes never. I don't feel like that my eyes ever got to where they used to be, and they've been there. There's a certain kind of pain that I didn't have before, that I had after I had pink eye, and my eyes were always sensitive after that. And that could be because of my crappy immune system, or I don't know. And I always, when I would get sick when I was little, I would get it way worse than everybody else. Okay, sorry, I'm getting away from what's going on now. So anyway, so as for the pain, and also since I don't want there to be further damage, it's something that I need to be working on. And when if I had known that this would happen if I didn't take drops that might hurt, I would have taken the drops, and just had a minor suffering then rather than whatever happened. But um, I can't be looking back, but that's something I would have done. And so now that I've been given this option again, I'm like definitely taking it. So she gave me, I think it's a fairly new type of eye drops because I hadn't really tried it before, and the treatment is, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. So I'm toughing it out right now, and in the hopes that pretty soon it will get better. And actually, I think I have been starting to notice the difference, even though my eyes still hurt from the drops. And um, so that's encouraging. And so, anyway, so right now they're inflamed, and that's just how the medication works. My eyes are inflamed, and I'm not totally sure when that'll get better. And I'm not sure when everything, what is normal? I don't know what's normal for me, but I'm really hoping that the situation with my eyes will turn around and I'll be able to do things again. And it seems very hopeful that I will be able to do that too. It just might be a matter of time. And also, once my eyes settle down and I get the glasses, then that'll probably have a big part of it. Because right now, if my vision's not so great, and then I strain my eyes trying to read or trying to see something, and that just makes it harder to see. So it's just a really bad cycle. So I'm hoping that if I do get, I'm so like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. I need glasses, but like everybody has to wear glasses, and but yeah, so I don't mean it to sound like that, but I'm just thinking about um how things will look with it, or no pun intended, but just what the situation will be like when I get glasses. And interestingly enough, it's that's why I'm kind of hesitant about how much help they're going to be, is because like I'm having trouble reading, but the glasses are the opposite of reading glasses. They're because I'm nearsighted now, and I'm not totally sure how that will help. But I don't know. There's a ton of stuff about eyes and um, how they work that I just don't get. Um, so I don't know. We shall see. But I think my eyes have to get to like a consistent and more level spot, and then because like right now my vision isn't um, it's moving around because of the different pain, or um, like I could go through 10 different prescriptions today because of how well or how not well my eyes will be able to see, if that makes any sense. So I have been rambling way too long about my eyes, but I guess that's a really big thing for me, and um, yeah, so I'm kind of still like mourning the loss of my 2020 vision, and I don't know. But it's kind of I know it's silly with everybody having to wear glasses and everything, but yeah. And I don't know. I guess I'm kind of I'm worried about the future too, and just what could happen, or what if the drops don't work? What if the Sjogren's just stays there and keeps damaging my eyes? Um, I guess it's not good to dwell on that kind of stuff and the what ifs, and I should be thinking about now. But just knowing that could happen is kind of scary to me, I guess. Okay, and so I got another. I paused it again to get another drink. I don't know what how many it is at this point. So sorry if this ends up really choppy. Um, so something else I did want to talk about if I had enough energy, and I am starting to fade. And well, I didn't have a ton of energy going into this, but when I try to get things out. So just something else that's been going on is, um, I guess it doesn't, okay, so with the autoimmune disease and this whole mixed connective tissue, or blah, just this blob of, okay, well, one of my diagnoses, or whatever, is undifferentiated autoimmune disease. And that just basically means that there, I have stuff that hasn't like totally developed yet, so that they can diagnose it, and it's kind of like they don't want to give a final diagnosis, um, because new stuff is going to pop up all the time, basically in my life, and so there's a bunch of stuff going on. It's kind of, well, I don't know what that is and what can't. I mean, with the Sjogren's, the dry part, I can point to that and be like, yes, eyes are dry because of Sjogren's. When I'm really tired and feverish, I can't really point to something that's specific. And something that has happened is that, okay, so when I was a teenager and I started showing signs or, well, this kind of started popping up and showing itself. Um, it the doctors first thought it was mono, and um, so I treated it like mono, and then just kept coming back, and you only get mono once. And then they did another bunch of tests, and there's like a deeper mono test you can do. And when they did that one, it showed that I've never had mono in my life. And it's just like with the rapid test that they do, it's not very accurate. And um, I guess, like, I don't know, um, but for a while, and then again, when the doctors don't know what's going on with me, it's kind of hard to explain. So I basically would just tell people that I had mono, and that was really easy. Or that was a lot easier than to try to explain rheumatology and that kind of thing. And it was even a couple years before I even saw a rheumatologist. So it just started off very confusing, and it still is, but it just like from nothing to that was confusing. So um, I still do go back to that though, because I have the symptoms of mono, and um, because the doctors don't just, if they do a mono test, it's because you're showing symptoms. And so basically, so that's what I kind of call it, or I guess with um when I talk like okay with my mom because she's been with me through this whole thing. If I'm having trouble, I say that I'm mono-y. Um, so like mono, Mono, and then Y, because I kind of I'm like feverish. I'm tired. My lymph nodes are swollen and not happy and aches and pains and that kind of thing. So that was what I did, or that's what my high school was like. My high school experience was that every winter I would get mono, and um, after high school I went into a sort of remission, and then in my I'm gonna say mid-20s I started coming out of remission and things started acting differently, and I would get this way when it wasn't winter. And actually, with a lot of this stuff, people show symptoms more in the summer and they respond more to heat rather than cold in a negative way. So, I actually, when I was a teenager, I didn't get diagnosed with lupus only because I I had every other I had everything on their checklist, but it had to be in the summer and not the winter that triggered it. And since then, I have been diagnosed with lupus, but that just I'm just saying that it was significant that it was during the winter for a lot of this. So I kind of got used to not having trouble in the winter necessarily, and not dreading January because that meant that I would be getting sick. And it seems like recently um, this has been it's been happening again like it did when I was in high school. And so um, right now, I am so incredibly tired, and I'm worried I'm not making any sense, and there's just a ton of and okays and or whatever. But it's um, it's basically like I do have mono right now at this point. Um, just just the symptoms. I'm just really tired and drained, and I'm getting fevers, and um, I think I said earlier that my body is a very uncomfortable place to be right now. So I'm just trying to get through everything, and um, I have been just resting, and um, I keep having to tell myself it's okay and not to beat myself up about not being more productive, and um, I was I was able to keep up with things to a certain extent with our circles and what's going on because I could still listen to things, but I kept getting really discouraged that I couldn't be there and I couldn't be helping. And it's so hard because it's like right here, like my laptop is right here. And I'm like, well, why don't I just push myself harder so I can do something and I can help people? And I I keep whenever I do that, I keep just hitting a brick wall. And so in my mind, I know that it's impossible, but there's still that bit of me that feels like I need to be doing something more productive. And anyway, so just when I was listening to things, and trying to keep up with everybody. It was getting stressful not to be able to, you know, people are saying that they need help, and I'm not able to help them. And for really simple things, I'm not able to help more. And so it's been hard, but I've given myself permission to take a step back, I still do check in and try to listen and see what's going on, but I um, still been having trouble with that. And then something else is that my concentration hasn't been great either, and so I can listen to something, and then an hour later, if you ask me what I listened to, I might not be able to tell you. Um, Nothing to do, no, I'm not saying that is bad on anyone else. I'm just, or like that people are bad communicators. I'm just not, the brain fog is so bad right now that um, I'm not a good listener, I guess it's a better way to say it. So I'm really sorry about that. And like, this isn't a permanent thing, or at least I really hope not. I'm pretty sure it's not a permanent thing. And I totally do plan on coming back and being more active. I'm not giving up at all. I am still fighting this, and I'm fighting to come back to you guys, um, in part. And there's lots of reasons why I'm fighting, and that's one of them. Okay, took another little break and paused it, and now I'm back. Don't know why, but my arm keeps falling asleep on me. I think I'm resting on it, but yeah, it's kind of weird. Sounds kind of random. um, okay, so yeah, so those are the biggest things that have been going on, are just being so tired and feverish and just sick in general, and then did I mention I have brain fog? And then my eyes. Yeah, so those are the two big things. And while I'm like really fading, and I hope I'm making sense, I do want, while I'm here, just to see if I can update with a couple things. So my lungs. I found a new pulmonologist. I think I said something. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, because yeah, I'm trying to think about when things happened. Um, because I was in chemo when I got the phone call. So, okay, sorry, but basically, I have found a new pulmonologist. I love her. I love the new pulmonology um, team, or um, thing. Um, I am. It is like night and day between this new place and the other place, and I should have um, just wow. I mean, some things are totally opposite, and like I am allowed to ask questions, and they want to answer my questions, and it's just um, and they want to see me every 3 months, not once a year, and like wow, that is exactly why I wanted to change. So so yeah, pretty awesome. So yeah, I went there, and they looked at stuff, and they did um, again they did a very serious. I hated it because I hate pulmonary function tests, but I was glad that they gave me a more thorough one than I was getting at my other pulmonologist. And um, I saw them. They looked at my CAT scans and everything, and they think that things are looking good right now, and I was actually hoping they would say, "Oh, you don't need that to take that chemo. Here, try this medication or something." But no, I still have to do chemo, and I still have to do it every 4 months, and um, I'm still hoping something will come up and there'll be some kind of new option that won't be so bad, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, and yeah, they thought that my lungs are stable right now, which is good, and um, not to be too worried about them, just something to keep an eye on. And oh, and I also got something. Um, it's very strange. They're called pearls, not pills, which I thought was kind of cool. But it's a so it's basically like a pill that you swallow if you get when you get a coughing fit, and because my inhaler hasn't really been working, and I was very dubious about it, and because if I'm having a coughing fit, how am I going to be able to take a pill? But I had one about a week ago, and I tried out the pill or the pearl, and I was able to do it and to swallow it, and oh my gosh, it worked, and it worked much better than my inhaler too, and so that was another really encouraging thing. Um, and yeah, so basically, I'm not as worried about my lungs, and I feel like I'm in good hands, and um, yeah, so I'm hoping, and or I mean, I'm not saying that I'm cured or it's going to be easy going forward or anything, but I'm feeling more positive about it. Um, I'm trying to with the chemo and the schedule and everything. I think my next round is going to be in the middle of April or mid to late April, I guess. So I'm not getting a vacation from that, or it's like a whenever it comes up, it's like, wait, already? Um, just doesn't seem like I had a ton of time to recover, but oh well. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. Oh, I think I might have mentioned that I was wondering if I had POTS, which is a cardiac um, condition that some people who have autoimmune diseases that I know, they also have POTS. And so when I was looking at the symptoms, I was thinking, oh, wait a minute, I might need to have this checked out. And so I went to my primary care doctor, my rheumatologist, both thought that it was a good possibility that I might have POTS. And so I went to, or they sent me to a cardiologist, and it turns out I do not have POTS. um, and my heart is healthy. So there is something healthy going on in my body, which is a very strange thing. Um, and so I can't remember if I said that, but that's an update. And that's also a good thing that she thought my heart um, was doing well, um, and was healthy. Um, I think that might be those might be the bigger things. Um, yeah, so I think that's about it. That as far as what's going on with me and what I'm dealing with. And right now it's mostly my eyes and just being so tired and feverish that is keeping me away right now. and I do have hope that it's not going to be like this forever, so I'm still planning on coming back and everything. Not sure when, and I guess I keep having to mentally push it back. But yeah, so I'm going to see how things go. And again, um, thank you to everybody for being so encouraging, and it really helps so much, and I can't, when it keeps, I keep getting surprised with how much it helps, and how encouraging it is. And so, so thank you for everybody who hasn't given up on me and who still cares, and for every little note of encouragement and everything. You guys will never know how much it helps, and how much I appreciate it, and how much of an impact it's had on me in a good way. And I'm really sorry that I'm not better and I'm not able to get back to you guys and hang out with you guys, and just that I've been having this to not reply as much, and that I'm not able to be there. But I really hope that I'll be able to do that soon, and hopefully I'll have videos that aren't just about me and what's going on with me, and that are actually helpful, or I don't know, but I don't know, yeah, but I am sorry that I can't be a better friend right now, and I can't help you guys and just be there. I am there in spirit, absolutely. And I pray for you guys, and you are still very much a part of my life, even if I'm quiet right now. You guys are still in my heart, and yeah. So, okay, maybe I should stop before I cry, but or fall asleep, because I'm having some trouble with I'm really tired. But okay, sorry, but I wanted yeah, just wanted to put that in there. So thank you, and I'm sorry for how long this ended up being, and I am having trouble getting my words out, and I should probably better go before I make this longer, and keep apologizing for random things. But thank you again, you guys, and I really wish I could be there with you guys, and I totally would be if I could. So anyway, hopefully it won't be so long before my next update, and hopefully I'll have good things to say, or things will be better at my next update. But we'll see. And yeah, so I love you guys, and take care, and just keep fighting. You guys, I'll fight here. You guys fight your battles too, okay? Fight for me. For what I can't fight for right now. So, okay, I'm going to stop now. Bye. Love you guys.